match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
I can see my fantasy, I'm so consumed in bed. What I see takes over me, I'm blind beyond repair.
One step closer to retirement. I just won $30 on the scratch-off lottery ticket. My plan is in action.
Did you really?
Cool. That's cool. My girlfriend left a fucking roach on the floor.
Well, now you got to have your place fumigated.
Jesus Christ. We have a guest tonight. Everyone, please welcome Bill Martel from Studio 86. He is here with us tonight. Big fan of his after Friday. How the fuck are you tonight?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm tired. I appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm ready to go. Let's go.
All right. Well, as we have a lot to cover tonight, we're going to start off with a very, very nice interview. But as always, my name is Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter, and to my right, never paying attention.
Oh, no, I'm paying attention. You can find me. I'm Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3. Beneath us, we have the boss at 24 Karat. The 24
I can't speak for me now. I can't speak for me now, Ethan. Oh, I apologize. I
figured you had a busy night on Friday involving yourself in 3 fucking matches, but we will get to that.
I only involved myself in one match. I was supposed to be in one match, and then, yeah, that was it. And then I was assaulted. But anyways, I'm the 24 Karat Lion. You can find me at that on all the socials. Also, I'm the guy who's going to get Tommy Chong into a wrestling ring. Onto our special guest over to my left on the screen. Yeah, bam. I know direction. That way. Yeah, I did it.
Are you sure I'm not?
I think I
got it right. I'm not down there.
Well, no, on mine, you're on the left.
Yeah, it was a joke. You missed it. Thank you for putting up the socials because I can't remember what it is.
You can find him at Bill Martel 86 on Instagram, definitely.
Yep. We have a Studio 86 Facebook page, but I don't do Facebook, so. But you can find us on there. Studio 86, I'm guessing is the name. I'm not sure.
We shared their whole post on our Facebook page, so you can find their Facebook on our Facebook, which you can find our Facebook at On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast. Fuck me.
Shout out to Nick Braxton from Studio 86. He runs the Facebook page. So thank you, Nick. You did something right.
That's awesome. So let's just get right into Friday. Friday was a wonderful night. Another perfect night in Michigan indie wrestling. I would say I was fully entertained for the full 4 hours of the card.
I have a rant to go on later when we get to coverage of something else that'll bring us full circle to this. So I'm not going to do it right now. But yeah, it's, it's always an event for us wrestling put on by both of the gentlemen below us, actually. Triple threat match in the March Tagness series featuring Mr. Bill Martel. One Maserati Rick, I believe is the correct term or correct.
Let me check their trading cards.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I actually, which you can pick up both of their trading cards at any of their shows they are at. And they'll autograph them. And you goddamn right I got them autographed.
You can. And we're probably the only wrestlers out here, at least in Michigan, who have trading cards made by Topps. That's pretty fucking official. I guess I should have asked you if I could swear before we're on here, but I already did it, so it's too late.
We're an 18-plus podcast. If there's children watching, go get your parents.
Damn it, Mr. Martel. Now I got to go to, Upper Deck. Because, I will not be second best.
I exhausted all options. So if you can outdo that, go ahead.
After the AEW cards, I would not go to Upper Deck for your cards.
I would not. They're garbage. They're legitimately, when we do our pack openings, my least favorite cards to open. Out of all of them.
Yeah.
Man, UDE used to be so good.
They were. They're actually their 2020 NXT cards were really nice, and then they just fell off completely.
Yeah, because
the Chrome series. But we're not here to talk about trading cards.
I was gonna say my favorite match of the FU card, right? Because I got to watch a bunch of them. Was actually the match that my man's to my left was in.
Yes,
it was the best match of the night.
It hands down was. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It sucks that now we're frenemies because I have to beat you eventually in this tournament. It's just facts. but it was the greatest match ever, man. Like, I felt bad because like I paid you guys sufficiently, but like fucking Hoss fight costed you guys probably thousands of dollars, if not more. Like, and I'm sure we'll get into that, just like they did.
We were fairly compensated. Have you ever seen when Kevin Sullivan shaved off Hulk Hogan's mustache?
Mhm.
Well, go ahead and watch that a couple more times because that's what's going to happen to you when we face off. I'm going to shave that rat piece of shit off your face.
Ooh.
I'm gonna drink your Four Locos and throw away.
Hey, you better. That's fighting words now, brother.
I'm just letting
Don't
you
be.
know.
I'm still working on the. We're still working on the sponsorship. Don't be undercutting me now.
Ooh. Hit him where it hurts, the wallet.
But
No, I appreciate the kind words. I can speak for Rick and myself. We had a great time. Really enjoyed it. So no, I appreciate it, and we definitely can't wait to be back.
No, we genuinely can't wait to see you back because, like I said, my girlfriend does not like wrestling. She doesn't like it, and I can't understand why. But she was very, like, the two things she was talking about the most at the end of that were the Neon Ninjas and Studio 86.
Yeah, and they did a great job too, man. But like we kind of talked about a little bit off air, not everybody is a wrestling fan, but everybody likes to be entertained, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we try to be a mix of everything, whether it be, physicality, athleticism, which I have none of, entertainment, comedy, just showmanship in general. We just try to be a mix of everything. And so I appreciate that, we can get a new fan here. That's what we're out to do.
Yeah. Because we can talk about the match for a second, because the match was phenomenal. Like, I want to actually bring up a clip from the match because I truly believe it is going to be the Michigan indie spot of the year. It's going to be hard to top this one.
Oh, God.
Pulling it up right now. Now here we have Danny, who just fell face first into a pile of cocaine.
Yeah, a big pile of cocaine.
Big old bag of cocaine.
Oh,
Allegedly.
Allegedly. It's a performance-enhancing powder.
But the crowd, they're fucking dying in the audience.
Oop. Coming in for the hug? Nope, you get it too.
Taking out her own man.
Oh, man. Cocaine's one hell of a drug, allegedly.
For anybody that doesn't know, Rick Cardia is all of 3+ bills.
Oh, Cartier's like 350 plus. Oh.
Now, I've been to Renegades a lot in my life. I was a frequent alcoholic in that bar doing karaoke. I've never heard that place that loud in my life.
Dead hat.
All the FU shows we've been to, like all of them, that was the loudest I've ever heard that place.
I think something that I very much enjoy is in the background of said videos like this, you see the crowd reaction, which is something that you get at a larger event, but you can't see the look on people's faces without like a high definition camera that zoomed in and specifically spotted. In this, it was just a wave of emotion. And I think an important thing about this match is there's 3 teams with 3 very contrasting styles. So Bill, yourself and Rick, you seem very, I don't want to say old school. You're very grounded, but entertaining. Like you feel like you could work with anybody. And it was shown.
I apologize for cutting you off there.
No,
that's the goal, right? Because, you have to, everybody has strengths and weaknesses, this was the first match we've had in, I don't know how far we're going behind the curtain here, boys, but I'm just going. So this was the first match we've had in a while to where they were experienced guys. And I'm not shitting on, the younger guys. But, when you're in there with more experienced people, you can do different things. But, yeah, it's just, we just try to, like I said before, we just try to bring a mix of everything. You can call us old school, And I think that would fall more on me. You know, like Rick, like Maserati, man, is one of the most athletic guys, if not the most athletic guy in Michigan. You know, he can do anything and everything.
So I like something that I draw from, and this is a comparison to a more well-known team that I would put you guys with, Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. That is very much more of where I see you guys.
Well, who in the fuck am I out of that equation? Because I ain't neither one of them.
Like, I know. Look, we're just gonna chalk this up.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
We're gonna chalk this up
I feel like you guys are like FTR, but on Four Loco and electric powder. But I mean, that's my view of it.
That works. That works.
But I mean, you've got to, the best wrestlers, man, can always, they can adapt and they can work with everybody. That's, like, it's popular to, I don't know if it is anymore, but it was popular to shit on John Cena forever. And John Cena is one of the greatest of all time now, that when you look back. And, the same with Hulk Hogan. But then you can look at somebody like Shawn Michaels, who could do so much more in a different way. And he's one of the best of all time. It's like ice cream, man. You got vanilla, you got chocolate, you got strawberry, and you got Neapolitan. Everybody likes different things, but you just try to figure it out and just be some kind of flavor that everybody can enjoy at least a little bit,
Right. I've always said that professional wrestling shows are the best when there is variety. And you guys bring a sense like he said with the Four Locos, and he said about FTR. FTL for you guys, it's for the Loco. That's what you guys are. That shit's great. The whole Four Loco flag and everything was just great. You guys came out, and the second you guys hit that fucking ramp, it felt like a party. Like, it felt like, everyone get your drink, fucking grab your smoke or whatever. Let's fucking light this motherfucker up. And
yeah, that's all we're trying to do, man. That's all we're trying to do. And I mean, believe it or not, like, like back in the day, I mean, my goodness, like I was like a serious guy, and I'd like come to the ring and just like wrestle. And like, after I've been with Rick for let's see, what is this, 2023? So we've been a team for just about 4.5 years now, and it took about 3 years for the pelvic thrust to bleed over to me. But yeah, now we're some pelvic thrusting son of a bitches, and we're drinking Four Loco, and we're loving every second of it, man.
It's because like I just can't get over how genuinely like charismatic you guys are. Like, genuinely, for me, an unknown before you guys walked in there, and it was just like you just said, the hip thrust right there. It was like watching like Big E's protege with Rick just fucking doing the hip thrust and just getting there. He was just oozing charisma. There was not a goddamn thing you could do to take that man off the pedestal he was on. And you were right there with him, like just taking everything in and just going like, goddamn. Like, and in that moment, you guys, like, the look and everything you guys had and the talent that you both had in the ring just screamed like you guys have been doing this forever.
Well, we kind of have, and I got to warn you, if you keep putting me over like this, we're going to be up until like 2:30 in the morning. So you got to back it down a little bit. No, I appreciate it. It really means a lot. But no, man, I mean, and honestly, like there's no secret to it. I mean, the secret is that, Rick is one of my two best friends. So, when you're out there just having fun with your friend, people can see what's real. Mm-hmm. You can feel what's real, and we're legitimately out there. We're having the time of our life, and we're just soaking in every moment that we have. And I think it shows. And I appreciate the kind words.
No problem, Ethan. You got anything real quick?
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's just go through. So we have 3 questions that we run through with everybody that's a guest on the show. So we'll get through that, and we can get back to the FU show or things going on with that. Make sure Bill gets his shine on here. So Clint, I'm going to let you do those because you have them down pat, and you always come up with something new. And anyway,
all right. Well, let me just say this: you're a wrestler. Who is one of your biggest inspirations for wrestling? Could be wrestling or non-wrestling.
How many do you want? Just one? Because I can't.
As many as you want.
I'm a big Tully Blanchard fan. Mm-hmm. Love Tully Blanchard, Hogan, Razor, basically the whole NWO. Brett. We'll stop there. I mean, I could just keep going and going and going, but I mean, yeah, I love all those old guys, man.
Now, give me one person who's not a wrestler that has been an inspiration to you as a wrestler.
I will say Michael Scott, the character from The Office, because you know, he's a complete nerd. He's a loser, like he's completely awkward, and so like that's if you've seen the dance move that I did in the dance off afterwards, like I'm like, well, one, I can't dance in general anyway, but I'm like, okay, like you already can't dance, but how could you make this completely the most awful, worst thing ever? And it's like, okay, what would Michael Scott do? Well, he would roll around like a boob. So that's what, you know, that's so yeah. I mean, I like to take a lot from Michael Scott.
So it's somebody that if they're outside of the wrestling games, a lot of people can relate with, and it allows them to connect with you as well. I like that.
Too, we talked about video games before you got on here. What's your favorite wrestling video game of all time?
Man, I don't want to be that guy, but it's got to be No Mercy, right? I mean, that's the best. But I also have a very soft spot for WCW versus the World.
That was my first one.
Yeah, that was I mean, not my first, but that was everybody's first one for like the, you know, I think we're probably all about the same age. I can remember like running home like from school on lunch break and just like, okay, I've got to have one match in WCW versus the World on 64. Like, yeah, that was cool. But I mean, it's got to be No Mercy.
Yeah, No Mercy. It's like for us, a lot of the answers are either No Mercy or it's WCW and NWO Revenge. They're essentially the same game.
That one was really good too. Yeah.
What did I say? Oh, I said the NBA one.
And oh yeah,
NBA Jam.
Yeah, it's the WWE one that plays like jams.
Yeah, I remember that one. It was on Sega Genesis.
No, it was on PlayStation, bro. It came out.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, like Kofi does like the disaster kick, but it's like 1,000 feet in the. Or I'm sorry, the Paradise kick, whatever.
You're talking about All Stars.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember they did the Twisted Metal WWE game in like 0304?
My love for Twisted Metal goes so
games.
deep. I had that game.
What was the name of that game?
It was called Crush Hour.
Okay, yeah, it was. Yeah, that was good.
I played the shit out of that. I loved it because Twisted Metal 3 and 4 sucked, and they didn't have a good Destruction Derby game. And Crush Hour was not a good Destruction Derby game, but it was like that filler until Twisted Metal Black came out for me.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then 3, wrestlers are on the road a lot. We always like to ask, what's your favorite fast food franchise?
Does Waffle House count?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so you know, like up in Michigan, like it sucks because like there is no Waffle House. So back in the day, like man, like we used to kill it at Waffle House, and we actually just got to go, you know, like my car, the '86 guys, we just got to go to Waffle House together for the first time in like 10 years. A couple months ago. So I love that. It brings a smile to my face. I love Waffle House.
Why isn't there a Waffle House in Michigan?
Right? Sorry. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Like, why isn't there?
No, I mean, we were down in Fremont, Ohio, where I'm going to be Saturday. And coming back, Nick's our driver on the way back. And I'm like, you know, MapQuest a Waffle House for us, and he's like, "There's 4 in Toledo." Like, wait a minute, Toledo gets 4, but we don't have 1. That's bullshit.
Yeah, why
not wrong?
Right, that we don't have a Waffle.
Denny's isn't even open at night anymore around here.
Bro, really?
If I want to get into a fist fight with my friends, where can I go? I don't have a Waffle House parking lot. Denny's is closed.
Dude, don't even get me started because that's my biggest thing. Like since the pandemic, and that's really like we really started like hitting the road because we were just basically doing BCWA because I was booking there, and it just took a lot of like we couldn't really work anywhere else. But ever since the pandemic, like we're just trying to work everywhere we can. And so being out on the road, like my biggest thing is like, dude, nowadays everything closes at like 9-10 o'clock.
Yep.
My biggest concern, because I can't eat before I wrestle. So like all I want to do is just eat a shitty meal, you know, like after I wrestle, and nothing is open.
Bro, okay, so like,
No,
wait, yeah,
it's not.
No, it's not. They fucking close everything.
My favorite Denny's, which is the one off of Rawsonville and 94, is closed. I used to go in there 3 a.m. The waitress's name, her lovely lady, her name was Bob. We would go in there, we'd do syrup shots, we'd cause all kinds of chaos, leave a good tip, and jet. But like now I can't. If I want a lumberjack slam at 3 in the morning, I'm fucked.
Yeah, like genuinely, because like we used to frequent this bar called Diamondback on Belleville Road.
Diamondback Saloon. Yep.
Yep. And Denny's was right down the street. So our tradition was on Friday nights, we close that bitch down, go to Denny's, and then we eat and just fucking. I remember our friend Amy ate a raw steak from Denny's at 3 in the morning one time, barehanded. Like she just grabbed it off the plate and started eating it because we didn't feel safe giving her utensils.
What did she end up doing in life?
Why'd she have a raw steak?
Right.
Honestly, she's done great. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We all do fucked up shit when we're drunk. That's what Mike Tyson said. So I mean,
yeah, like we would. I would DD, like me and Tony would DD and just drive everyone. Ethan would get buzzed at the beginning, but be good at the end of the night to drive.
I drink for 2 hours and then I quit, and then we're there for another 3 hours past that.
Yeah, you do the Rocky from the league thing. 30 minutes before you go, crap out the booze. You're good to go.
No, I don't do.
I do.
Let's not.
I'm going to ask our viewers to Google why we don't have Waffle Houses. I can't get off this.
Another fun fact about Waffle House I found out while I was in Ohio, because I went there for, I think it was Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, War of the Worlds.
I should open a Waffle House.
Oh, the Columbus, when you went to Columbus.
Yes, when I went to Columbus. And there were 2 Waffle Houses open directly across the street from one another. And I Googled it. Did you know that Waffle House, like, about 60% of their locations are across the street from another one, so their slogan can be, you never have to turn left into a Waffle House?
That's amazing.
That's like Dollar General.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Hold up.
Coming from
marketing ability. Right. They're both black and yellow. Put a Waffle House in a Dollar General.
Like the KFC Taco Bell.
Yeah.
All right, we need to end the stream so we can have marketing idea decisions because we all just want to retire early. That's essentially what we're going for.
Let's go. I've got an empty lot right next to my house. I'll buy that bitch and we'll open this up. Let's go.
I'm down. Oh my God. This stream is turning out better than I ever imagined.
Fun fact real quick, because it's on the topic. You know Pepsi, why they bought Taco Bell, KFC, and all them, right?
Because they couldn't compete with Coke.
Because they could not hit market anywhere.
Yeah, so they bought 3 restaurants because it was cheaper than getting into restaurants. They bought 3 of them just to put Pepsi in them.
And inadvertently created the second highest selling soft drink brand. I mean, because before that, Mountain Dew was like 5th on the list, and then after Taco Bell and Baja Blast, it became the second. Outsells Pepsi, crazy enough. So Rick, sorry, Bill, my bad.
That's good. I'll speak for both of us. He's here in spirit.
Well, that fantastic. But speaking on your social media, so I did some perusing. I was messing around on Instagram, and I noticed that it kind of goes back until about 2018. But you have trained you trained in 2007 originally. Pre 2018, what are we looking for from Bill Martel? Is there anything out there?
So, yeah, there's a bunch out there. So I started off in BCWA in 2007. And I wrestled primarily there for about 4 or 5 years, but I did some stuff down in Ohio for MCW. It's a promotion that's no longer around. I did some stuff around here. I worked for Clash Wrestling. I worked for the Juggalos, JCW. That was a lot of fun. But then, in what was it, 2013, I ended up taking about 4.5 years off. I just I had a couple concussion issues, and I had to grow up, and I got a new job. It was just a culmination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I never thought I was going to wrestle again, and then came back there, and what is it? I've got the poster here, July 7th of 2018.
Motivation with you all the time right there.
Yep. Shortly afterwards, about a year and a little bit less than a year and a half after that, that's when Studio 86 started, and we're turning and burning, man. We're ready to go.
Isn't it crazy that, whatever, 10, 11, 12 years into your career, and that's where, you hit that stride. And there's something to be said for that. with so many people. It's not everybody can come up firing, white hot out of the gate. And, we're all the better for it. That now that that's happened, you're out there, you guys are just, making I don't want to say making a name for yourself like you haven't done it already, but you're putting Studio 86 on the map. People want to be club goers at this point. That's, I don't know if your fans have a name, if you guys have named them anything, but people want to see Studio 86 at this point. So that's fantastic. Yeah, we love a good success story.
No, I appreciate that, and we do need to come up with a name for the fans now. So that's going to be something that we'll think about, and we can let the live audience and everyone here vote on. But no, man, yeah, I mean, our past is our past. Rick did a lot of things. Like, he did a lot of good work, in BCWA. He started just shortly after me, and the time while I was off, like, he did some really good things. So, both of us, we've got a long, storied past, but we're aiming towards the future, and I think the future is going to hold good things for us.
So I'm going to ask another question on here, and everybody always asks dream opponents. I like to ask realistic dream opponents. Essentially, somebody you haven't wrestled before, but it's definitely, and now everything's attainable, so I don't want to act like that's not. Tag team wise, though, is there anybody in the area or even nationwide that's on the radar of Studio 86 that you guys see that and you're like, we'd mesh well with them? That's who we want to work with.
First of all, for a motherfucker who smokes weed all the time, this motherfucker needs to get better at smoking weed.
Oh no, man! If you're not choking when you're smoking, you ain't getting high, and you're just wasting your time.
Like I said, I'm a Fed, so I haven't smoked in like 11 years, so yeah, my apologies. But no, like you said,
it's something about storing it in your lungs, because then it doesn't get out and you actually get most of the THC because it can't escape. Anyways, sorry, science.
It's all good. No, man, like you said, everything is attainable. Like myself and Rick, we've both worked with, so many people like that. Like, I watched when I was growing up, and it was like, I never thought I'd be able to be in the ring with this guy. So, like you said, everything is attainable. I know that I think I speak for both of us. We always wanted to work with the Rock and Roll Express, even though they're older. Man, like they could tear it up. Like, and I think one of them just retired. Was it Robert Gibson that just retired? I think Ricky Morton is tagging.
He's still going, but Robert Gibson's doing seminars and stuff. He's got a show in Indiana this weekend, I think.
I would love to work with the Rock and Roll Express, and I think we'd love to work with FTR, man. I'd love to work with Sammy and KO. I'd love to work with the Usos. Like, I'd love to work with, any of those guys locally. We've worked with a lot of guys. I'd like to do another go around with DTA. Okay. We did some stuff with, they've got different incarnations. But yeah, good work with DTA, and
you can book.
I've known GQ and Miller for years. I haven't talked to either one of them in years, but I would like to. I don't think that anybody would be upset to see Studio 86 against the Lotus. I don't think that anybody would be upset to see that. So yeah, there's tons of guys, man. We're willing to work with anybody, man.
That'd be really good.
Like, I can just think, like, one team, like, locally that I know that I would like to see you guys go up against is just Grim Reality, for one. Grim Reality is hot shit right now.
We are facing off with them on April 21st for TKW in Taylor, Michigan. That is a Friday night. Studio 86 and Grim Reality is going down. I took my notes beforehand, boys. You're not dealing with no amateur here.
Taylor ain't that far away.
No, at Taylor. That's at Taylor.
It's a very good show too. It's the bang for the buck. It's good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to compete against the boss here, but TKW does good shows. We've been there 3 or 4 times. They're bringing in oh man, I don't want to misquote, but they're bringing in a couple. Moose. They're bringing in Moose. They're bringing in Moose and Allison K. So it's gonna be a really loaded show. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I'm fucking coming. Thank you for that. That match is gonna fuck harder than any man I've ever been with. I'm
Clint,
excited.
I was at the last one, dog. I was just there hanging
Oh,
out
I
as
know.
a fan in the audience, dog.
I know.
man, I was going hype. Like Bill saw me, bro. I was wilding. It's a good show. It's a good
Yeah,
show.
it's fun. I mean, aside from Friday shows, I've been up since 4:30 in the morning when I go there, so I'm pissed off. I'm stiffing everybody I work with that night, including my own partner. When I tag him, I'm tagging the shit out of his hand. I'm pissed off.
We talked about the Todd earlier. We talked about Scrubs earlier. I'm just imagining you hitting him with like a high five, like the Todd would, and then just doing the snap afterwards and getting out of the ring.
Yep, I'll do it just for you. If I see you there, I'll add it in.
Well, I like that. That's good.
I love me. But yeah, so you and I talked a little bit before we got on because Ethan likes to take care of the professional wrestling questions. I like to ask nerdy questions. So, man, you showed me that you were having like 3 arcade cabinets there. I got to see, like, you told me about the Street Fighter one.
Yep.
What are the other 2?
So I have the Street Fighter one, and that's the one I modded to where I've got like every game from NES to N64, and then all the arcade games. And then I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh yes,
that's got Turtles and Turtles in Time, and then I've got Space Invaders, and then the virtual pinball I showed you. I modded that. I don't know how I got it to work. The only game I've got on there is WWF Royal Rumble Pinball, which it's sweet. I mean, yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I'm a big time nerd, man. I showed you. I got you can probably see I got Jason Voorhees figures, Ghostbusters shit. I'm a loser, man, but I embrace it and I enjoy it.
No, man, like fucking nerds are in, man. We had to wait fucking like 15 years after we got out of high school, but we're finally in.
Yep, now's our time. The rest of the world's just got to get the memo, right? We got the memo. The rest of everybody's just got to get it.
Like, I'm finally with a girl, like, she hears me talking about all my nerd shit, and I do that, the typical thing, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go on. She's like, no, it's pretty hot. Like, keep talking about it, please. And I'm just like...
Yeah, that's what I need to find, so congratulations.
Well, to be honest, we work at a dispensary together for a while, so that's how we kind of fell into each other's thing. I fucking miss Sophie.
I popped in. I saw her in George's thing, and I was just half-assed paying attention on the side. And I like, oh, I've been here the whole time, shit stain. And I'm like, I can't see. So news to everybody, I can't see who views this stuff. I don't have that power. He does all of the Twitch views. I'm just here.
Yeah, to get a peek behind the curtain, folks. Fuck.
I hope you knock your fan over again,
dog. I hope so much.
Like
stuff
there's the whole setup. Like my PlayStation is still on. I was going through my trophies. Like this is eek behind the like
what a fucking trophy show.
3DS charger, all my lighters and shit.
I was just looking at my accomplishments.
Yeah. Here's behind the scenes. Here's Clinton. Oh yeah, baby, that feels so fucking good.
I'm so good, man. I got all those bronze trophies, all of them.
Anybody who
one platinum. I'm so proud of it.
I have every platinum trophy for every Dark Souls game. Suck my dick.
Listen, man, there's not a lot that I dislike more than somebody who just wants to show off trophies for no reason. It's not a good look.
Well,
man.
If we're
you don't want to just show off your trophies for no reason. A little bit closer. Okay.
Let's talk about trophies that mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, buddy, do you want to tell people the news?
You're the AEW champion.
No, so we don't pay attention to the name on the belt.
No, it's just our belt.
He won the predictions for the WrestleMania weekend predictions.
Well, I thought you won.
No. I beat you night 1, and he beat Russ night 1.
I know that, but I thought you won.
No,
I beat him by 1 point. He needed Roman. He needed to. Who was the one match that it was down to?
Oh, well,
it was. Yeah, he needed Sheamus to win, and Gunther won. And after Gunther won, there was no coming back. Champ is here again, baby.
I want to point out. I do want to. No. Hold on. This is important. This is important because while you are champ with a belt, I need you to understand that the bottom half of the screen, because Russ is normally where Bill's at, would say there is a new champ because your overall point leader for WrestleMania weekend with a combined score of, I believe it was 15. Was it 15? Is, of course, the boss, the man who knows wrestling just a little bit better than you two, Jeremiah Goldmain.
Dude, you gotta add way more than that. When you're rubbing it into somebody's face, you gotta drop every fucking gimmick you've ever had. The 24 karat. Come on now.
Oh, I know, but they got an hour after the podcast is over to just get it run down.
Let me just hit you with this, Jeremiah, for the champion promo, because I'll go by what he said. Jeremiah, it doesn't matter that you had the most points over the weekend. It doesn't matter you had 15 to my 14. What matters is you lost on night fucking 1, so you couldn't beat me in night fucking 2. You lost. And then the boy that beat you lost to me. I don't give a fuck that you finished with 15 over my 14. Doesn't fucking matter because you didn't beat me.
What?
Yeah, but
you were supposed to keep going.
But
that's all I got in me. I'm high.
And I did.
Come on, guys.
You fucking blonde-haired bitch.
Listen.
Hey, I take fucking offense to that, dick.
Listen. I'm just gonna say some people like you and like what was that baseball guy that like did the roids?
Every guy.
Sosa,
every one
David
of them.
Ortiz.
No. Sosa and him, the ginger.
McGuire,
right? Like you guys can be in the record books with asterisks. That's fine. I like pure wins. I like knowing I was actually the best. You know, when you come into a 3-way match and you pin the other guy, I mean, feel good. Go home. You did it. Ooh. But you didn't beat you didn't beat the guy that counts.
Which is why I'm going to beat you single-handedly one-on-one at the next one. It's just you and me, buddy.
It's just me and you?
It's just you and me.
We just doing this?
It's just going to be you and me. Fuck Ethan. Fuck Russ. It doesn't matter. I'm not satisfied with the fact that you beat me for overall.
I know you were lying.
I'm not. I was pissed. I was pissed that Roman won.
How about this? Whoever loses the next competition has to eat corn the long way like a baby back bitch.
I don't like corn, so I'm not going to do that.
Well, are you scared? Do you think you're going to lose? I mean, if you think you're going to win, then you don't worry about it.
Loser does the one chip challenge.
I've got 2 of those sitting right over here that I've had in my house for like 2 years, and there's no way I'm ever fucking touching them.
I'll order one.
No. I want to one-up it because Bill has 2 of them. Loser has to eat a hot chip challenge sandwich with hot sauce in the middle.
And the shit's 2 years old. I'm down with that.
I'm down.
I'm down with one chip because I've never eaten one of them bitches before.
No. Like, I've never done it either. I've eaten hot food. I've never done that chip. It's going to suck either way.
Let me see here. Give me 1 second here.
The absolute worst, so not the hottest thing I've ever had, but it's the bomb sauce from Hot Ones because it tastes like rancid oil. It's not the hottest thing ever because I've done the Last Dabs. The Last Dab XXX that they have actually has like a peach mango flavor to it. It's pretty fucking good once you get past the heat. But the dab or the bomb is just disgusting because it's not really a sauce. It's like an oil on it, and it just coats everything. It's so fucking bad. And if you get it on your lips,
it's fucked up. It's not good.
But
here's the deal I'll make you. Here's the deal.
Win, so I don't even know why you're worried about eating.
This is fine. This is the deal I'll make you.
We're doing radio for 2 here, boys.
Backlash is on the 6th. FU is on the 12th. The loser has to eat the chip in the ring after the show is over in front of everyone.
Love it. Never mind what I said.
Intermission.
Loser
eats it on intermission.
Loser has to sit through that second half of the 4-hour show sucking.
Deal.
And if it's me, that's going to fucking suck. I got to run a show. It's fine, though. That's life.
Deal.
Done.
Loser eats a one chip challenge sandwich.
Oh, man. It could be good.
At FU. Oh,
intermission.
Fuck. This is going to suck. I need to be focused on this one. All right.
Bill, I have a question for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry we derailed.
Because you were present at the FU show. Did you happen to pay attention during the spot where Jeremiah
between Grim Reality and Killing the Business?
allegedly jumped somebody. Were you watching the show at that time?
So that was after my match, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
I was out there, but see, however, there's a thing that we like to call on the loco. So once I'm on the loco, like I can't be held responsible for anything. So I saw what Jeremiah did, but I wasn't able to like comprehend it. So I remain a neutral party here because I was on the loco.
Thank you. That's all we needed. Also, the Locos. I think that's your fan club.
The Locos.
The Locos.
Dog. So real quick, Bill,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
my creative brain went off during this interview, and I'm gonna be sending you guys a logo design.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah,
and just to go back to the locos, my initial gut reaction is don't love it. But I could sleep on it and love it. So we're gonna put it in the catalog there. I'm not gonna commit to it.
We'll throw it against the wall and see if it's hanging up there in a week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see.
More than just a second to fall.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I've got a lot of very questionable ex-Lions players hanging on the wall, so it doesn't take like the best, highest quality to be hanging on the wall. So it could fit. But
I'm a football guy. Who's the sketchiest one you have up there?
Oh my goodness, let me put my glasses on here real quick, and I'll just. So it's probably got to be either Dan Orlovsky or Sam Martin, just because he's a punter. Yeah, it's like the wall of mediocrity. You know, I've got a couple good guys. I got like Night Train Lane, Herman Moore, Goff. You know, but you know, there's no reason Dan Orlovsky should be on my. Zach Zenner is very obscure as well.
It is, but you know, he was a doctor.
Fun fact: Goff's cousin was in attendance on Friday night.
Really?
No, he's not Goff's cousin.
They're related somehow.
He just
I'm going to tell you.
He said something about it before.
Hey, pass the word along because I have been the only guy from the moment they traded Stafford out of here. I was like, yes, I'm Team JG. Let's go. Number 16. Jared Goff is my dude. I love Jared Goff. Send him 86 his way. I got unlimited 4 locos for Jared Goff. I love that guy, man.
He was the number one pick of the draft for a reason.
I want to point out that Jared Goff has made this team something amazing, whereas when Stafford was here, it was a fever dream.
Hey, Jared Goff, I'll tell you this, and I know we're going way into the woods. First year last year there, they set Goff up to fail. I mean, he had no wide receivers. You know, last year he played lights out all year, aside from a couple game span where, no disrespect to Khalif Raymond, because I think Khalif Raymond is a hell of a football player. But when Khalif Raymond and Tom Kennedy are starting at wide receiver, you know, when they had the injuries, like, you're not going to win a game. I mean, you know, but yeah, Goff's great, man. One of my favorite. I know you guys do trading cards. One of my favorite cards is I've got a Goff Topps Classic, I believe. It's autographed in the Lions uni, and it's either a 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5. I can't remember, but yeah, it's like my favorite card. And the good thing about being a Goff fan, I bought it like a year ago. Like, nobody likes the guy, so I got it for like $40. Like, so it's the best of both worlds. Like, I get my favorite player, and I don't have to, you know, blow my wallet out to get it.
And then another one we got. Our moderator is actually cousins with Zenner.
Oh, hey, Zenner had 2 or 3 good years with the Lions there.
No, but like, yeah, like Goff is king.
From Matthew Priest. Matthew Priest, Studio 86 member, Matthew Priest. He hasn't been around in a while, but he's still 86.
Love that guy.
You talked about a prize card. This is we pulled this one from our NXT box.
I got it. You should call the fans the 86. There can only be 86 of them, right? And they got to fight for those spots, bro. That's where I'm at, dog.
Like,
and we make them pay. We make them pay, and they become shareholders like Green Bay Packer fans. Which, by the way, just real quick, if I say anything tonight, the most important thing I say is fuck the Green Bay Packers and fuck all of their fans and fuck Aaron Rodgers
right now.
And fuck Brett Favre and fuck Donald Driver. Fuck all of them.
Hell yeah.
And fuck Jamal Williams, because he used to be a Packer too.
Aaron Rodgers is the most overrated quarterback in the history of football. My man Tom Brady changed divisions and in 1 year tied them with the amount of fucking Super Bowls they won in that division. Just saying.
I'll tell you this: the Packers. I'll finish and then we'll be done. The Packers had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, maybe 2 of the best 5 quarterbacks of all time over 40 years, and you got 2 Super Bowls. Go fuck yourself.
The only Packer there's a big pack. Yeah, see, but look, Reed, we lose the plot all the time.
It's a wrestling. We've been very honest. It's a wrestling podcast.
This was on me. I went way off base. I apologize.
Listen, man, like
we'll diverge into hockey.
We have a best. Listen, hold on. There's a best of video out there where it's 11 straight minutes of this dude talking about my brother's dick. He did that for 11 straight fucking minutes one time. This podcast is just, we have wrestlers on and we like wrestling and we talk about wrestling, but we definitely differ from wrestling a lot.
There's cool with it.
There's more things out in the world than just wrestling.
Reggie White is one of the greatest Packers, and it's because he's been known for being a Philadelphia Eagle. That is, I will stand by that. I don't have any problem with Reggie White because of that. However, old school name that I do know personally, Gilbert Brown, the Gravedigger. Actually, like I know him.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar. Did he play for the Packers?
Played for the Packers in the mid '90s. Like he was on the Super Bowl team.
Well, then he can also go and fuck himself.
Yeah, got a sweet amount of cars. But when I met him, I was like, "Yeah, my wife's a Packers fan." I said, "But I'm not." So, like, I'm really happy that you won a Super Bowl. But out of pure despise, go fuck yourself. And it's terrifying saying that to a 6'5", like 360-pound man. But he's like, "That's okay, bro. Respect." And I'm like, "All right, you know what."
He treated you like a dog, and he was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Yeah, basically,
you were gonna hurt me.
This man could body me, and I'm just like, no, I'm sticking to my guns on this one.
He won a Super Bowl ring. Your words just bounce off him.
Oh, 100%.
I'll appease Reed, and I'll tell us a fucking meeting a wrestler story real quick. Fucking, my sister did those beauty pageants, like those toddlers and tiara shit growing up. I hated that shit.
What the fuck happened?
But one time we went to go meet Macho Man, and he had Gorgeous George. So my dad was like, "Oh, get all dressed up. We can go meet him in your pageant gear." And we go meet him. And my dad's standing there with my sister in her gear. And he's like, "Oh, man, your daughter's pretty cute in all of her pageant gear. I really like that." And my dad's like, "Yeah, it's just some dumb kid pageants." Randy Savage stood up out of his chair. He was like, "How dare you disrespect your daughter in front of me? I guess I'll get across this table and beat your ass. You're a beautiful little girl. Don't worry about a thing. Don't listen to him." And I was like, Macho Man was going to beat up my dad. And I was like, cool. I was a big, like, even then, like, just Macho Man's going to beat up my dad is cool. But looking back on it, Macho Man was progressive as fuck.
Yeah.
And should have been the Hogan position in growing up. He should have been the one. Like, just saying.
That's my favorite thing I've heard all week. Macho Man was progressive as fuck.
Yep.
Yep.
He
was.
He even
who else was on TV show going like, "It's okay for a man to cry. I've cried 1,000 times and I'll cry more." Like that shit. I'm just like, that guy.
He made a hate album. Like he went out, spent his own money, and published an entire album for his hate
rap album specifically.
Yes, like dog. He's an innovator. Like he's so progressive.
Wow, this didn't really go off the.
I'm looking.
Yeah, we're way off the rails. We have derailed.
Does anyone know the title of his rap album?
Story, though.
Yeah, it's Be a Man.
Be a Man.
Oh, Be a Man. Okay, give me one.
You should know that. You lived with Tony, and he had that on rotation. Man has a 6-disc CD changer in his car. One of the discs at all times was the Be a Man album. He never took it out of his changer.
Yo, you know what's way worse than Macho's album is Hogan's album that he put out in like '94. I Want to Be a Hulkamaniac. I love me some Hogan. I Want to Be a Hulkamaniac. Worst song ever.
So you know what's upsetting about that is Hogan's actually a really good bass player, or he was at one point, because he was a session player. And his story is about, I was almost in Metallica. That's all bullshit. But he did put out an album in Japan that was called Ichiban, and it's actually not bad. And he did some help. He had some help in mixing it. But it's not like, so he was a really good bass player at one point in the 80s. But now, I mean,
there's a big difference between playing bass and rapping.
And Macho Man went in there and he had good producers. good mixers. Like the man paid for the quality. I feel like Hogan was like, brother, I'm gonna put a studio in my home. And I know my Hogan sounds like Jesse Ventura. I'm in the desert doing peyote with aliens.
It's by Hulk Hogan.
But he was like, I'm gonna put a studio in my home and I'm gonna make a diss album to respond to whatever it was, but it was bad. It wasn't good.
No, Hogan just did that shit recreationally. Like he got bored. there was no reason. Like Hogan won the WCW championship and was like, "Hey brother, what do we got to do next?" And he just called up Jimmy Hart, and Jimmy was like, "Right on, Hulkster, I'll be right there." And they just did this fucking album for no reason. At least Macho, like, I mean, his shit, like, whatever. But at least his shit was petty. Like, I respect that more. Hogan did his shit for no reason. That'd be like me putting out a rap album right now. I have no reason to put out a rap album. That's the equivalent of Hogan's CD.
Jimmy Hart looking like the exact same person for the last 40 years as well.
Right?
Like,
Yeah, saw him at the Hall of Fame, and he's walking down, and I'm like, how much self tanner did they have to roll onto your body with a paint? But like literally, they're taking that little 4-inch roller, and they're like, Jimmy, it's okay, we're just gonna run it up your neck. So Bruce Pritchard's back there, and he's like, I got some red paint, and it's back off, brother love.
New paint account. Do.
Fucking did that shit recreationally. That one's gonna tickle me for a couple days.
That's facts, man.
Oh my goodness, we just we just got raided.
By who?
Jordan.
I don't see it yet.
Maybe he might. I don't know.
Oh God.
He just popped in, and yep, that's where it is.
Ah, Christ Almighty.
Sorry about that. Anyway, hey, so for
there's over 20 people in here now just listening to us talk about bullshit.
Yeah, it's okay though. So for everybody that's joining, we're gonna go through our introductions really quickly. I'm gonna bounce this off. So to my left is PK. It's Clint. You can find him at PK Batman. Beneath me, but never actually below me, is Jeremiah Goldmain, the 24 Karat Lion, the fashion sensation across all 4 Elemental Nations. I'll get your whole thing down at some point. And then we have a very special guest, Bill Martel from Studio A6 is in the house. If you guys get a chance, please go to Wrestling Rage on YouTube or the FU Facebook and buy the pay-per-view if it's still available and check their match out because that was a blast.
How rude.
Wait a minute. We were on pay-per-view. Where's my royalty money, boss?
Oh, no, it's not pay-per-view. Like, Ethan just misworded stuff like an idiot.
Whatever.
Big shout out to Jord, sister channel of ours. I love Jord with all of my heart. I miss you. I wish I had more time to hang out with you on your shit.
We were on a Facebook live stream, Ethan. How dare you try to pump it up to make us sound awesomer?
No, man. Like
Facebook live stream. There you go.
There you go.
So for any of those who missed, on May 12th, either Jeremiah or myself will be eating a 1-chip challenge sandwich live on pay-per-view during intermission at his next show.
And don't forget their 2-year-old 1-chips.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shit myself to death.
Which is even probably more fucked up. I don't have any concrete evidence of this because I'm not a scientist, but I feel like that can't be any better.
It's got to be like wine, right? They just have to get stronger with age.
Oh yeah.
Like all hot stuff gets hotter like the longer it sits. Like
I'm just preparing to bleed out my ass if I'm being honest with you. Like
so there was a TV show that was called I don't know if it was Eating History or whatever it was. And it had Josh McCouga on it, who was a dude that was on this movie trivia thing that I used to watch. Anyway, they would go and they would find old food from back in the day. And at one point, they ate some hardtack from the Civil War. And it was basically like to a point where he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to break my teeth on that. I'm like, wait until somebody goes to the ocean and finds like an old barrel of salt pork from like a pilgrimage ship.
I don't know why the word I did not have hearing hard attack on my bingo card for today. That really popped me. I like that. So I fuck with you guys. I never at one point thought, yeah, well, I'll hear the word hard tack tonight during this podcast.
We aim to keep people on the edge of their seats, maybe in a good way, maybe in a hey, I'm ready to get up and leave, but one of the ways they're going to be on the edge of the seat.
I've always
Doors
said
right there. Go.
We don't strive to be the best. We strive to be the most likable.
Right on.
No one wants to work with an asshole.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of assholes, Jeremiah. Someone told me that you did something on Friday. I know we kind of covered it. Like, did you attack Grim Reality? Because I was high as shit. I didn't see anything, but that's the rumor going around.
That is a word I've heard. Like I don't know. That's a what? That was a weird message.
It is. That's Jordan. It's
also subscribe. I'll eat edibles for every subscription we get.
But anyways, no, man. Like, did I attack them? No. Never.
I believe in the business. It's called a receipt.
There you go. Did I have to put two green little boys down and show them their place?
Little boys?
Yeah. Homie, the last time I looked, there was only one man standing after what I did. So, yes, little boys.
Could I just request that maybe you do the same thing on April 21st for TKW in Taylor, Michigan? Could you fuck up Grim Reality for us to help us out?
I believe he did attack a knee. So
we will talk. We will talk. I can't stand these two. They are, listen.
Fuck those guys. And their manager's weird, and he looks like he smells.
Oh, that Presley dude?
Yeah, his sideburns are way shitty. Like, come on.
They're horrible.
He looks like he eats corn the long way. He looks like he also his diet consists mostly of glue sticks. I mean, what's wrong with that guy?
I'm so glad you said that. I was trying to think what the greatest wrestling sign I ever seen was, and it was the one that said, I think it was Goldberg eats corn the long way. Okay,
so that's number 3 on my sign list. So I can't tell you what my number 1 is because it's not politically correct, and if I say it back, I don't want to heat on me because it's not cool. But number 2 is the number 2 sign of all time is definitely why were HBK's pants so high at SummerSlam '93. I love that somebody took the time to put that on a sign. And Roman Reigns is looking he's all pissed off, and that sign's just right behind him. Why were HBK's pants so high at SummerSlam '93? Love it.
I will always love the Bo Dallas ones where he would come out and people would always hold the sign of "Why is his hair so wet?"
I like that.
That one popped me.
To answer this question, at that time in '93, Sean did not have a fupa at all.
Well, that's right when him and Diesel started riding together, and remember that like
true.
Sean said, all he did was just eat. Like he ate like Diesel, so he gained like 30 pounds. That might have been what it was for somebody who wears. But just speaking, I'm somebody who wears my trunks quite high up, so there might be some similarities. I could feel Sean's plight there.
You know what though, the trunks higher up thing, I've noticed people have commented on them. Why do guys wear trunks higher up? Because man, you don't want, like, if somebody's gonna grab your shorts for a roll up or something like that, you don't want be full cracking it out there. Not everybody has like a John Lennon ass that comes all the way up their back. Like, you just want a little bit. Yes, Chief, you have your hand up.
I do. It's because the real reason why people wear their tights so uptight or high is because we as men generally wear our pants incorrectly to begin with. Your pants are supposed to go to your waistline, not your hip line. And we generally just wear them around our hip because we think it looks cooler and manlier because, years of like bad masculinity. I can't remember the correct woke terms, if you will, but that's why guys wear it, because then they get the full mobility of their outfit like it's intended to, and they can do cool shit and flippy doos and hard.
So let me just add something to this. So shameless plug. There is a video on YouTube titled "Bill Martel Wrestles with His Ass Out for Over 2 Minutes." So I have never had a problem showing my ass, and I would show my ass again tomorrow. However, the trunks remain high because I've ballooned in weight for 15 years between 200 and 300 pounds. So there's a lot going on. So it's just better to just go ahead and cover her up. But the ass has always been terrible. I have no problem showing that.
Ethan, before you go, we do have a viewer question. Why do you guys have that stupid weird mesh that gets caught around your nutsack?
What the fuck does that mean?
Is it talking about like swimsuits?
I don't know.
I think that's a swimsuit question because, like, you know how like all swimsuits have the mesh inliner thing.
Okay.
I've heard numerous stories of dudes getting their balls caught in it.
It's not pleasant. Every time I buy a swimsuit and it's got those, because I'll buy swimsuits that I think are like, real hoochie or whatever. I'll cut it out of the inside because I don't need it.
You see, I avoid those when I was doing jiu-jitsu because I bought ball hammock underwear. So I just had this little pouch that I would just drop my nuts into. And then they were just there. Like they had freedom to move, but they were in one singular place.
Respect.
It wasn't uncomfortable. Yeah.
So my opinion on the high-waisted things is Jeremiah is correct. It is that we don't actually wear them in the correct spot. But my idea is more retail to advertise.
It's very true.
You have a larger space to put your stuff. You got a little skivvy. You're like coming from a swimmer world. I swam in high school, so you'd have the dudes that would wear like the Ryan, whatever his name was, trunks, and they would have a tiny little flag on them. And you're like, no, I want more space. So you have the dudes wear the ones that have the stuff down the side. Perfect.
I'm actually trying to get the old president to actually sponsor me. He has the biggest trunks. They're so much bigger than Obama's. So much bigger and better.
Where's Russ at?
See someone. He's got that nailed impression. Wow.
Yeah, we're way off the rails.
No, we are so far. That's fine. Whatever. This happened. You know what's honestly? We go and we're like, hey, here's how we're going to do the rundown. We're going to do the Bill Martel interview. We're going to talk about WrestleMania. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. We're going to send it home. And you know what happens? We're like, we get to the Bill Martel interview and then we're like, fuck it. Let's see what happens. Roll with it.
Most of our shows are just like, we don't have plans. I just want to be done in time to go to bed.
I'm going to be honest.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
I didn't want to talk about Raw. Right. And Bill, if you need to leave at any time, feel free.
No, I'm good, brother. I'm here for the long run. But let's I will go ahead and put us towards WrestleMania. I didn't watch much of night 2. I only watched maybe about I think 3 matches. Night 1 of WrestleMania, and I'm somebody who dude, like I can't watch the new stuff, man. It's a thing. Like I can watch old stuff all day long, but I can't watch the new stuff, but I watch WrestleMania every year. And night 1 of WrestleMania this year, like I thoroughly enjoyed it, man.
I thought honestly, like top to bottom, one of the best pay-per-view cards I've seen in a long time. Like since probably All Out 2021, it's the top to bottom best wrestling card.
Yeah, it was really good. And I mean, again, like I'm not shitting on anybody because John Cena is a fucking legend. But I mean, you can make a case that like Cena and Austin Theory was like the worst match. And when I say that, like it wasn't even a bad match.
No,
like, it was still good. So when that's your worst match, like, dude, that's a hell of a WrestleMania, man.
Nope, I got a little emotional during that match. I won't lie. When Cena did the wave on his hand and he just looked at everyone and did this, I was like, I felt like I was watching him do the 5-knuckle shuffle for the last time.
Yeah,
like him doing that. Like I don't like even that match. Like it was, as you said, it wasn't even a bad match. It was a pretty decent match.
Solid.
Like it went like 10 minutes, but like I expected nothing more from Cena. He's acts like he can't go like he used to, and that's okay. But he came out and he gave him a hot opener and a hot fucking entrance to start the night. And it just kept growing and getting better from there. Like everything just stacked. Like the one thing that people did like leading up to it was what should main event night 1. And after watching night 1, you could have made a case for either one of them. Because Rhea Ripley and Charlotte tore the fucking house down. And the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they all deserve Emmy nominations for this whole Bloodline saga. All of them.
No, just me personally, I think there was and Rhea and Charlotte was really, really fucking good. But dude, Sammy and Jimmy and Jay, KO, all those guys deserve that main event, man. They really did. They really did, and they delivered. And no disrespect to the women's championship match, because you could make a case that was the best, technically bell to bell match of the night. But the story wise, like there's a reason Hogan and Andre main evented WrestleMania 3, and Savage and Steamboat was the best match. But there's a reason they didn't main event and it's because of story.
I think if you would have taken the IC title match and then Roman and Cody from night 2 and put them on night 1, you would have one of the best pay-per-views that company's ever put out.
You could have honestly cut a lot of WrestleMania night 2 because I'll honestly like.
We did get Snoop like run into the ending
best
though.
part of night 2 was
the
Shane McMahon
Snoop
blowing
elbow,
out his
dog.
knees.
Dude, that
him
hurt
hitting
because
that
I was always a big Shane fan. Still, I've always loved Shane.
Do you want to know what my favorite wrestling match of all time is?
What's that?
It's Shane McMahon versus Kurt Angle from King of the Ring 2001.
You are a satanic person, sir.
I very much. That's why I do commentary for Horse Slam.
There you go. Well, see, that makes sense.
Yeah, I like sick shit, but other than that, even last year, my favorite match of the year was the Anarchy in the Arena match, and I was shit on for that.
The best part of that match was playing Wild Thing. What did it loop 1.5 times? That was great.
2.5 times. It was great. I loved it. But no, just I love Shane. I even went to Hell in a Cell when it was in Detroit to see Shane versus KO, and I thought that was great. And I remember walking out of that arena going, Shane, you're old, hang it up. Just hang it the fuck up, man. I don't need to see you jump off shit anymore.
Yeah.
By the way,
no, that's the bad part about getting in there, man. It's you can train, you can be in the best shape, you can train, but I mean, unless you're in there doing it constantly, that shit can happen, and that's such a fluke thing, But yeah, that sucked. I mean, but hey, Snoop did a really good job. I mean, you could hear the ref yelling at him, people's elbow. And I mean, but you got to put yourself in his shoes for somebody who's not a worker. And I know he's had a couple, kind of matches or whatever, but for somebody who's not a worker and you've got, however, what was it, 90,000 people or whatever around you, for him to not shit his pants, kudos to Snoop Dogg, man.
My favorite meme coming out of the whole weekend, it was that it was the arm shake from, I think it's Predator. They do the arm shake thing, and it was just professional wrestling vets and Snoop Dogg, and the hands were calling it in the ring. And I was just Snoop's a vet, man.
Yeah,
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Double Hall of Fame for Snoop.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
This actually, this was about the Hell in a Cell match. I took him to his first wrestling event that night, and he watched Shane jump off the cage, and he was having a panic attack watching it. The Miz deserves flowers. The Miz is great. I don't have a single problem with what he does or what his character or anything. I do think he has a problem when Grayson Waller gets called up, because I think Grayson Waller is the Miz, but better. And for all we do know, Snoop did poop his pants.
Snoop's a performer. At the end of the day, the man's a performer, and wrestling is a performing art. So he is somebody that, if you're in that spot, Snoop's been performing in front of live crowds since before his first album came out. His first album dropped when he was 17. The man's 50 years old. He has 35 years, let's call it, experience of performing in front of a crowd. He did the exact right thing at the exact right moment, followed every instruction he was given, and more props to him for not botching, or for not, I don't even want to call it a botch, for just not even messing anything up at all and making it one of the most entertaining bits of night 2. So hats off to it.
Plus, it looked like he punched Miz right in the fucking face for real twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, dog. What is it? There's a TikTok reel. Somebody got the angle where the referee, not the referee, it was a cameraman who's recording from one angle on the commentator side. The minute Shane's down and the ref's checking on him because the ref literally is oh fuck, something's going real here. There's a clip of the cameraman just looking at he's going Snoop, he's not yelling, but he's. And then Snoop finally gives him a little look, and the guy's just and then Snoop runs in and gives one of the greatest looking straights I've ever seen. Just says, "Pow!"
He was just motherfucker, I was in the riots at Joe Louis. I'm ready to fight, motherfucker.
And then I love it because, for a moment there, my man's just getting really he's in the moment, he's entertaining, and then he comes back and hits him with a second one right to the fucking middle of the face.
Yeah, that was Vince put on the headset. God damn, pal, that was a good one. Give him another one.
Give him another.
Oh,
man.
So this is where one thing where, since now I've been being I commentate on wrestling, I do journalism shit for it and everything, of where, as a person who is now working in the industry, is where I'm losing all respect for Dave Metzler. I don't like him Because like the first comment he makes is just like Snoop saves the show with one of the worst people's elbows I've ever seen. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Pause. The people's elbow itself was phenomenal. First of all, it started off with a fucking $5,000 plus gift to a lucky fan. All right. Their whole WrestleMania weekend was reimbursed by those glasses.
Yeah.
All right. B, the rope running was the worst thing ever. Okay. The people's elbow itself was phenomenal. My man's leg went up and his whole body
that was textbook. Textbook.
Listen, the rope running, on the other hand, was very poor. It was really unsafe. Like, my man's really tall, dog. He could have accidentally went over. That moment could have just perpetually got worse and worse.
But
he looked like a motherfucker. He looked like a motherfucker at a sleepover when you're like 13 and you hit the ropes on the couches that you guys pushed together to land the finish on the Hulk Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy. That's what the ropes look like.
I've hit the ropes on a fucking trampoline with no ropes better than that.
Yeah. But no, as far as Meltzer, man, I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, dude's a chump. Like, I mean, you've been doing this for 40 years and you still don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Like last year, like my favorite match on WrestleMania weekend was Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn.
It was great, man.
And the first report he writes is like, I'm not even rating this match. It was dumb. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen on WrestleMania stage. I was like, on the same night where we had Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon, you're saying that's worse?
Yeah. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, there's a time and a place for technical wrestling, man. Like, and like good technical wrestling is great. But like at the end of the day, like if the people are fucking going nuts, like, and you shit on that, like, then you don't know what you're talking about. You don't.
Like we talked about that part from night 2. I'm sorry to Ethan to cut you off, but another great part of night 1 was that Intercontinental Triple Threat. And for me, it was great to see the Intercontinental Championship get a really big showcase match on Mania because it feels like they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, and dude, you know what? Like, and I don't like. Now that like I primarily do like tag team wrestling, like I've had 2 singles matches in 5 years. I don't ever want to have another one. Like to see like the tag team championships main event WrestleMania was like, that's so fucking cool, man. Because for the longest the knock has been that, you know, like Vince hates tag team wrestling, and like tag team wrestling is, when it's done well, like it's awesome. And you saw that at WrestleMania. Like that was really cool for me, like to be like, wow, like that's the first time in 39 years that, well, I know you've had, you know, well, WrestleMania 1 was a tag match, but it wasn't for the tag titles. You know what I mean?
It's the first time tag titles have main evented.
Yeah, like that's really cool. That's really cool.
Which, in my opinion, Gunther winning at Mania, I want to see him hold that belt until next year's Mania and main event a Mania with the IC title. Like him with a 600-day reign, taking on, let's say it's Sheamus having his swan song. He's like, if I don't win this match, I'm done.
Why not
Roman Reigns? It's Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Put it up.
Bro, listen, we're already here. We're never gonna do a reign. Bro, we're 3 years into this fucking story. We're never gonna do a story like this again. It's like the human mind can't handle it, and we're not sick of it. Why can't we go another 365? Why?
They very well could. I think Roman loses it in Detroit. At SummerSlam, but I think that's, like you said, like let's make more history, like Intercontinental Championship main events night 1 next year. Like that'd be really cool, man.
That'd be hot.
Like we've had both women's titles main event, the world title is main evented. Now the tag titles have. We got to show some love to the second longest title in the WWE, which is the IC belt.
Yeah, and then night 2, you bring back the 24/7 title and throw everybody for a swerve and have that main event night 2. Nobody's going to see it coming.
Fuck yeah! You remember at 36 when we had remember at 36 when they were just like the main event of WrestleMania was not Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. It was actually, and we're going to show you on Raw, it was the Big Show. That's what they're going to do. Just bring out a bunch of gimmick wrestlers for a 24/7 battle royal to end Mania night 2.
So I have
something by Santina.
I want to. So I talked about this earlier. I have a slight rant that I want to go on, Clint.
Okay.
If you can big screen me.
So fucking needy.
Yeah, I know I am. I just didn't want to screw it up. So Night 2, a lot of disappointment that came from that from outside sources. I wasn't like super duper hype on it. Night 1 was by far the better night. However, what I want to say is, regardless of the circumstances following that, regardless of what happened on Raw the next night, if you are displeased with what is going on in the show, the best way that you can show your displeasure is not to get on a social media site and rant about it. It's to stop spending money on the product. Take your money elsewhere, i.e., Friday nights, Wednesday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday nights, doesn't matter what night it is, go to a fucking indie wrestling show. Buy the merch of anybody that is at that show. Enjoy those shows. That is what is going to make you the happiest. Since I have started back going to indie wrestling shows, I have been more in love with this business than I have ever been. And it's purely because of gentlemen like the two that are on the screen with us tonight that bring me happiness and hope. Sure, it's easy to flick on a TV, but if I'm taking my time out of my night, I know I'm going to be entertained. And even the smallest minute faction, and I know that it made their night, that there's somebody there for them to wrestle to. Take your money, buy the merch. Buy the fucking merch. If it's at a bar, buy drinks at the bar. Support the establishment so they'll keep bringing the show back to it. Whatever you do, if you have an issue with something, stop spending money on the bigger shows and support the fucking people that work their ass off for it. That's all.
We lost viewers during that.
I don't care.
Did we really?
And you said 2 people. I mean, I know me and Bill are here, but aren't you going to say something nice about Jeremiah?
I said something nice about Jeremiah. I don't give a fuck about you right now. I was talking about the 2 professional wrestlers in this thing and not myself.
Well, I appreciate that, and I get where the message is. I get that it's coming from love, and I think, yeah, I mean, like, instead of, if you want to sit around and bitch about WWE, like, so many people like just bitch about something, it's no different than, like, I'm a diehard fucking Lions fan, and I mean, if you had a camera in this room, you would think I hated the Lions more than anybody in the world, but I'm going to be there next week watching it, no matter what. So why are you wasting your time bitching about it? You know what I mean? Like, don't waste your time on negativity. If you don't like WWE, if you're that mad that Cody didn't win, don't watch it, man. There's plenty of other wrestling. There's AEW, there's Ring of Honor, there's MLW, there's all the independents. Like, there's so much good shit and so much positivity that you can have. And I don't want to go all Sesame Street here because I think it's fucking stupid that Roman won. But you know what? Guess what? It's a week later and people are still talking about it. And if Cody would have won, there would be 70% of the people who'd be like, fuck Cody, he sucks. Who's going to be the next? Seth Rollins needs to beat him at Backlash. So, I mean, it's 50-50, bro. But your message, like, yeah, like, do something positive. Don't just bitch about something. Like, because there's great wrestlers all over the world, and like, support them, because that's like that's what we're out here doing. Is we're doing this because we love it and we want to entertain people. So support that.
This isn't something to take away from anything that you said. The gentleman, Jeremiah, he's got wrestle buddies. This guy is this dude right down here. He's basically the Kiss of the local indie scene. He will merchandise any fucking thing.
Listen,
hey, you will merchandise anything.
You can get custom Crocs for $70 a pop, but the minimum order is $24. I'm just saying, this is real knowledge your boy has acquired today.
What about Heelys? What about Heelys?
That company's going out of business. All of you are growing up to sizes they don't make anymore.
They make them in size 14 because I ordered a pair yesterday.
That's just, why is your foot so big?
I have a size 12.
Why aren't you buying a size 12?
I did buy a size 12. I'm just saying they make them up to 14.
I got really alarmed.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, what the fuck?
Like,
why did you do that?
My job requires me to like walk to people's cars. I thought it'd be funnier if they just saw some guy roll up on Heelys and just go, skirt. Can I see your ID, please?
I'm gonna.
You works at a dispensary, not a Sonic, right, by the way, for anybody.
Take that weed back, sir. I refuse. I cannot buy weed from a child. I'm sorry. That's illegal.
Once we get off here, I can tell you guys some of the horror stories of the past 2 days, because dear God, it's been a nightmare there the past 2 fucking days.
The reason that I say that though is exactly what Bill said. There's so much good wrestling out there in this area. I had a discussion with Drew, with some dude on TikTok. I don't know. He has some massive YouTube page, and I don't even give a shit about it. But I tried to be very polite about it. Here's my thing: we have people in this area, and it doesn't matter if you are locally known or nationally known, but they're going to put on a hell of a show. Bill, you're going to put on an amazing show with Rick in tag team wrestling. We have other people in the area that are on a bunch of shows. Jason Hodge, GQ, like you said before. Moose comes to the area. Madman Fulton, who's been at FUW before. We have so much good wrestling in this area that if you exist, live, work, play, whatever you do in Southeast Michigan, come watch a show. Any show that you go to, because you don't know what's going to happen. Not this past show, but the show before that, Madman Fulton was not advertised for us wrestling. And guess who showed up? He showed up, put on a banger of a match with Adam Wick and KJ Reynolds at the end of the night on a card that was very much subject to change.
And Jason Hodge.
And Jason Hodge. So much so that show probably should have been called Subject to Change. But it got to a point where, like, I'm sitting here going, I'm watching dudes that I see on TV on a regular basis, and now they're stuck in a bar stool in front of me because they got slid in there and stuck. You're not going to get that at a big arena show. And it's not to say the big arena shows aren't fun. They got pyro, they got loud music. They're a blast. I like going to them as well. But if you've never been to one, go see an indie show, because that is what is going to keep this business alive. And it's what it's going to keep you, finding. And
you're good. You're just saying words now.
I'm trying to think.
You're good.
Word?
Stop talking. Just stop talking.
When you find something. What is the
We've
word?
We've lost 7 viewers since you started this
because
rant.
They came over and they live in the UK. And no, we haven't. I see the little number up here. It says 14, and we were at
20. We're at 13 now, motherfucker.
It says 14 right now. That's fair.
Thank you.
I'm surprised you didn't hit me with one.
I did. I was trying to be respectful because you're talking about indie wrestling. My God, you were just repeating yourself.
Man, and also I'm really upset that you didn't say you'll be entertained at any show I'm on. That was offensive.
Well,
you're on every show in the area.
We do got to promote a show.
That is not true. I can name like 3 I don't work for, but we're not going to do that. Because I'm not going to put them over because I don't work for them. So anyways.
I've got to promote a show for tomorrow. Exactly. Ethan will not be there, but I will be there. I believe Jeremiah's on the card. Horse Slam presents Death of the Easter Bunny. $20 general admission, 25 front row. I don't know how many front row tickets are left. If you can't make it out, we will be live streaming it on YouTube only. We're not doing Twitch this time. It's going to be YouTube only. So go scan that QR code right next to Ethan's head and follow us on YouTube and tune in tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I got a bunch of guest commentators, and it's deathmatch. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be violent. It's going to be vulgar, and I don't think I can promote it any more than that.
JJ Escobar is not going to be there because he
broke his back,
so he's not on that card anymore.
But Shane Mercer is going to be there.
Shane Mercer just threatened to light George on fire and throw him out of the ring. So for what that's worth, he did that on Twitter. I thought,
cool. Don't do it 5 feet from me this time.
But I want to point out, George wasn't the ref that lit the guy on fire.
No, I know. But anytime somebody threatens to light a ref on fire, I just assume it's George.
Oh, that was Orville.
I know it was Orville, but he's threatening to light a ref on fire. It doesn't matter who it is.
I stand behind that. I stand behind that's the greatest thing to ever happen to me, because at one point, because of that, Jim Cornette was talking shit about me. And that's a pedestal I'll live on forever.
That's nice. Let me go ahead and steal the spotlight here, boys. So Bill Martel or Maserati Rick will not be at Horror Slam tomorrow, but you can find Studio 86 in April at the following dates: April 8th, LPW Fremont, Ohio; the 15th, AWE in Jackson; the 21st, TKW in Taylor; the 22nd, MPWA in Milan; the 28th, Northwest Championship Wrestling in Berkeley; and the 29th, the first Neo Pro Wrestling show in Canton, Ohio. Sean Mooney 2.0 right here. What do you think, boys?
Wait, what was that? What's that last one?
That's Neo Pro Wrestling. It's their debut show. They're in Canton, Ohio. It's
You said Ohio. I heard Canada.
Yes, the reincarnation of the MCW that I used to work for, like 10 years ago.
Hell yeah.
Ethan just said, died. Be right back. Yeah, he died. He talked too much. That's what happened.
Hey, it's fine. He was losing us viewers. right before I went into my spiel. I mean, that's the only reason I come on here was to plug my shit, brother.
Your shit's being plugged, man.
I'm just kidding. I had a really good time. All honesty.
I loved having you on, and anytime that you would love to come back, I would love to have you on. Because
we'll definitely have to do it again. We'll have to really irritate people and talk about more nerd shit like Ghostbusters and Friday the 13th next time.
Dude, if we can talk about how the Halloween franchise ended, I'd be fucking miserable.
Dude, how about that last movie? What?
I wasn't happy with it.
Listen, the best part, without spoilers, was clearly within like the first 5 minutes. You know the part I'm talking about, right? Where you just were like, right?
Genuinely, like that movie from 10 minutes in to the end sucked.
Yeah. It was almost like after the one part where I laughed, I was like, oh no, are they really going to do what I think they're going to do? And then
I'm a Halloween 3 defender till my dying day.
Season of the Witch?
Season of the Witch is amazing.
I can't subscribe to that, brother. That's some bullshit.
It's the only standalone Halloween movie there is.
That has my favorite Michael Myers kill scene in it. I think it's in 4, where he sits up in the back of the ambulance and just shoves his thumb through the guy's fucking forehead. That's either in 4 or 5, but that's
so.
Go ahead.
This my oddly enough, one of my favorite Friday the 13th movies is one of the oddball ones. Is Jason Takes Manhattan.
So bad, but the scene on the roof where homeboy is just pieces him up, and then dude just boom. Best scene in the movie.
My favorite, because I loved when shit got really like 90s, 2000-y, and like we were just like, oh, we're just running with this. Was when we decided that Jason needs to go to space.
I knew your crazy ass was going to say that bozo shit.
Listen, like, I love when you take something that everybody loves and you're just like, you know what? Here's some acid. We're going to space, motherfuckers.
Come. Yeah, that one's bad. Jason Goes to Hell is by far the absolute worst one ever. Mm-hmm. Like Jason X is way better than Jason Goes to Hell.
I love Jason X. I love bad horror films. Like that's my niche. Like I'll watch Birdemic all day long. It's fucking awful.
So
like, go ahead.
Oh no, hold on.
That was the original one.
Okay, Ophi, the floor is yours.
Ophi, please tell us, because usually it's some prophetic shit. Fuck, she did it.
Thank you.
I did a drum roll for that. That was disappointing.
She hits us with some really good ones. Like one time she referred to this fucko as Ginger Val Kilmer, and I couldn't breathe for 4 minutes.
All right.
I can't remember the other one. Someone came in here when you had your bandana phase over the summer and said you looked like a Wish.com Axl Rose.
It was Ophi. No, it was JFam.
It was JFam. Yeah, that one was good. We're hitting that 90-minute mark, so we're going to do our farewells. We appreciate everyone that came in. Jord, thank you for the raid. Thank you for anyone that tuned in if this was your first time. Big thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. Like, this was so enjoyable. I love talking to you. You've kind of just fit in so well here.
No, I feel I really enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get to do it again. I appreciate it. I really do.
Thank you very much. Studio 86, Bill Martel. You can find him at Bill Martel 86 on Instagram, and you can find all of his other socials. He is Studio 86 on Facebook as well. But from the rest of us, my name is Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter to my right.
You can find, I'm Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter.
I'm dying.
You can also find Clinton tomorrow night at Horror Slam presents Death of the Easter Bunny, which is also where you can find the 24 karat lion, the swag bender, Jeremiah Goldmane.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still in the Humble Yourself Rookie Challenge?
Yeah, no, I gotta fight, bro. Listen, all right. So like you guys were there. I was set to have a 1v1 with Breyer, and he was going to have his arm tied behind his back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
We heard it.
That was literally where, we last left off. And then my man who owns the company goes out and puts out the flyers, and all of a sudden I'm now in a tag match. I don't even have a partner assigned to me, right? Like, it's worse than court. All right. I got to find a partner. Fun fact, I'm the people's champion of Horror Slam. Like, the crowd loves me, but it turns out most of the roster can't stand your boy. I don't get it. It's not like I'm rude, mean, talk, run my mouth, anything like that. I'm a gem, So, like, I got to go find me a partner now, and that's kind of some bullshit. So now I have my arm tied behind my back, and you know what? Touche.
Well, and I will say that for somebody who says they don't run their mouth, while we're trying to wrap the show up, you're really running your mouth and you're tying everybody's hands behind their back.
And now I'm not asking you, Bill, to be my partner. Thanks for that.
Jeez, oh, Pete, I was busy anyway. What do you know?
Oh, well, as always, we love you, Judy.
We love you, Judy. I have one more photo for everyone, and this is going to be the last image. Here's Ethan with our biggest fan.